Ireland head coach job. Is it a job you definitely want after thinking about it?
Look, I haven't had the chance to talk to the people I need to talk to yet, but it is something that I think it's an attractive job in world rugby, without a doubt. And you know, if that's something that does become an option, then I think you'd inevitably think about it. At the same time, as I said on Saturday, I'm very conscious of the commitment I've made to Leinster.
And have you been given the blessing by Mick Dawson to go ahead for it?
Yeah, I've spoken to Mick, and I think he's the sort of guy who would like not to have the headache of trying to find a new head coach at Leinster. So at the moment, we're just trying to unravel that.
And if there were any stumbling blocks to you taking over, Joe, what would they be?
Really, my commitment to Leinster. I think they might have a few more stumbling blocks than that, but I think that's something that's pretty important for me.
So when are you going to make a decision on if you are ready and willing to go ahead for this job?
Well, I will talk to them this week at some stage, and they'll make a decision, or I'll make a decision, whatever way it happens post that meeting. So hopefully by the end of the week. And
Joe, just a word on Paul O'Connell. He wasn't cited for that incident with Dave Kearney. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I was really surprised. I think there's been 90,000 hits on the YouTube video of it. I think the global game suffers when someone's not at least called to respond for actions that are taken like that. I think you've got to be very careful when you're fly hacking at a ball and the ball's placed beside a head. And I think there's been a lot of speculation in the media about what and what shouldn't have happened. But for me, the citing commissioner didn't take his responsibility as he should have, because his responsibility is not to be the sole judge, but to merely decide whether or not an incident's taken place. For us, Dave Kearney is still not in great shape, and I think he's the forgotten man in this. So there's been a lot of talk about Paul O'Connell, who we all know is not a vindictive man, and he's a superb player, and I think we all massively respect him. But at the same time, there's a kid there, and there's kids watching, and there's mothers watching, and it was a pretty sickening thud, a pretty ugly injury, and not to be at least asked about it by a panel is a massive surprise to me.
Joe, just about the match of the weekend, can you just give us an update on the squad and position of the table, please?
The squad are in pretty good health. There's obviously some guys who have taken a few knocks and won't be available this weekend, Dave's obviously one of those, but there's a few others. Gordon Darcy won't play this weekend with his calf, and Quinn Rue's in doubt. Quinn might be okay, he's coming back and he's running, but it was a bit debilitating at the time with his dead leg. And apart from that, there's a few guys who may not play this week, just depending on how they come through training over the next couple of days.
So look ahead to the Biarritz game.
A little bit, and it's a bit residual from the Six Nations as well. There's some boys who are still a little bit tired post the Six Nations.
Okay, well, good luck at the weekend. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Joe.
Cheers.